everyone, it's me, Nick here from Found and Explained. If you haven't actually seen my face reveal, then this is going to be a bit of a shock for you because, well, here's my face. But we have a very special package here today from YouTube themselves. They've sent me my 100,000 subscribers plaque, and I thought that it would be cool to open it up here with everybody who's been the fans of the channel so far and to share this moment with you as well. And of course, I know that you've probably seen a million of these unboxing things, so I won't really go into too much detail. But if you haven't, then remember it is my first time. I haven't seen anything because I've always wanted to do it myself. Anyway, I've got a knife, so let's crack this open. Oh, careful, don't do this at home. So if you want to know, I've been doing the channel for about a year, maybe a little bit over a year now. So this has been quite an accomplishment for me to do in this time, and it shows that you too can make a whole YouTube channel in just put your ideas down and just get started. That's the thing that I would give any advice to someone who's thinking about doing YouTube. Just get started, start putting stuff out there like I did, and who knows, in a year's time you might be getting something for your wall as well. Okay, opening it. Oh, it's very nice. Black foam inside. Smells like a factory. And nice plastic, so I'll be auctioning off this piece of foam for no, I'm kidding. Oh, there we go, this. I've got a wonderful piece of paper from YouTube, and it reads, I'll put it up here so if you want to pause so you can read it. And it says, do you remember your first subscriber, your 100th? I actually do remember my first subscriber. It was I think it was me. It was my alternative account. But no, my first real subscriber was all the wonderful friends and family who decided to show their support almost right away. So I won't read it all out, but I'll definitely put up a photo for the Discord for everybody to see. We're thrilled to see the development of your community and are proud to honor you impressive milestone of reaching 100,000 subscribers with a Silver Creator Award. Congratulations. And is it actually signed or is it printed by the CEO of YouTube? And then so they say, keep on building. We can't see what you will do next. And when you reach your millionth subscriber, we may write to you to ask, do you remember your 100,000th subscriber? And here we go. Oh my God. It's actually really heavy. There you go, the Silver Play Award for Found and Explained. Wow. Thanks so much, everybody. This is incredible. Presented to Found and Explained for passing 100,000 subscribers, and it's the actual Silver Medallion Award, and it's really nice, and I'm so scared to take this out, but there you go. You can see it's very shiny. Is there any fingerprints on it, or is it actually quite... Oh no, it's quite nice. But there you go. So that's going to go up on my wall, and we'll be able to see it in all the live streaming I'll be doing, and hopefully we'll be on our way to 1 million, which would all be an incredible dream. But this was my dream right from the beginning, and I've already accomplished it. So thank you everybody so much for watching. And as part of that, I've got actually something else that I'm going to show you here in the video today, is that I have clips from a live stream that I did to celebrate 100,000 subscribers, the build up to it, where I rank each of my Found and Explained videos. I don't go through them all, but it's all the commercial aviation ones. So I'm going to play this clip straight after this one, and I wanted to say thank you again so much for watching. This thing is and we'll zoom it in. This is a tier list, and what we're going to do, if it works, and this could completely stuff up because I haven't prepared this ahead of time, I haven't tested anything, but what we're going to do today is we're going to do a tier list of all the never built concepts that I've done so far on the channel. So we're going to be chatting to each other. I'll be showing you some 3D animations and stuff as we look at some of the things. So I'm going to need your help to fill this out though. I can't do this alone, and I need a volunteer from the audience to help me do this for the channel. So basically, let's see. I'll just answer some questions first, and then we'll get started. I'll just show you actually first how it works. We've got to put the the Russian A380 in one of these things. S is the best. It means it's super special. Then A, B, C, D, E, F, and F being, the worst. So that's something that we need to figure out when we do that. So We've got a lot of people here, and you guys can tell me exactly in the comments whilst I do this. So let's have a look. What do I think of a nuclear-powered aircraft? It won't be used for passenger planes, at least not fission. Maybe fusion, but fuel is still safer and far more efficient for planes. You might get electrical planes for short-range hops, but I don't think you're going to get anything sort of more substantial than that, unfortunately. Is this okay? So is the voice better? Can you guys hear me okay? Is it a lot better now? What happened to your voice? Well, I fixed it so it shouldn't just be coming out the right-hand side. Oh, do you know what's hilarious? I've just realized my webcam here in the corner, I'm talking into my logo. What is it? It should be right. I just realized that you can't see my face because the big Found and Explain logo might be there in the corner the whole time. So I'm just going to put myself up here, which I think is a little bit maybe more neater for everybody. You let me know it works because I'm still kind of new to this whole thing and I'm still trying to do this. I thought we just got a subscriber and then it just went down again. So, oh well. So basically, we're going to have to decide what tier to put this in. Do you guys think it should go B tier? So this plane was the Soviet, not Soviet, sorry, it was the Russian A380, the Sukhoi 860, the wings of Russia. It had an escalator in the front, and it was really quite an incredible plane. It was going to be the rival. It had wings that also went up, and I'll put a link to the description. And I'm getting some people saying it's B tier. I personally think that, yeah, like B tier. Let's put it in B, because I'll go with the group on this. Okay, so the next one we're going to grab, the next one that I did was the Boeing Sonic Cruiser. So let's grab this and let's just paste that in here. The Boeing Sonic Cruiser. So the Boeing Sonic Cruiser was a plane design that was created to sort of make... They realized that they could make planes fly a little bit faster with some sort of design. And it was something that they were really pushing for at the time, but they ended up not going with it. And it was actually a competitor to the what people were trying to do for the Airbus A380. So it was Boeing's answer to the Airbus A380. And again, I have like a whole video on this plane. And it's super radical design. It's complete departure from anything else, but it was actually faster. And you can see it's got canards at the front, and it has a delta wing design at the back. So where do you think this one should go? I want to see your opinions. So I'm getting a lot of A's, a lot of B's, C's, a B tier, another B, a B, A. I think anything that improves on existing engine technology that's completely feasible and could have been built should go in the A's. So I'm going to pop it right there, and I will just erase just the bottom there so it's a little bit neater. There we go. So it's not that one. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So the next one that we have here is the Virgin Galactic Concorde, where do you think this Concorde version 2 should go? So basically, Virgin Galactic, the company that's sending people to low Earth orbit not low Earth orbit, but to a high altitude in the Spaceship One, are designing this plane that is the Virgin Galactic Concorde. So, and it's my video that pops up there, which is so great. So they designed this plane here that is hidden by the thing there, which is always a lot of fun. Let's open that up in a new tab completely. So you can see what this looks like. This was an absolute sort of game changer, but of course they need to build it. And I don't know if they will. This is probably one of those projects that's very unlikely to happen. And I think that they can barely put together a spaceship to go just up into orbit, not even go anywhere for like 6 people. And I think that them building a supersonic jet is a far cry, considering that he could have done it years ago, really. I don't know why he only started now. So where do you think that should go? S? Wow, that's a lot of S's. So let's not spam the chat. Let's see. I've got a lot of A's. I've got a lot of S's. Does everyone think S for the Concorde? The Concorde version 2 should be an S. Really? Okay. If you guys say it's an S, I'll put it there. I will. If you guys truly think S, I'll put it there for you. Like, I'm kind of shocked, but I'm just going to take off these headphones. I don't need them. But okay. So the next one that we're going to talk about is the Spike S512, and this plane just cracks. So the Spike, the Supersonic S512, and I'm just going to bring this up so you can actually just see it. Basically, once this ad goes through, is the Supersonic Spike X12 was this plane that was designed to sort of counter the flaws of the sonic boom. They were like, we can make a faster supersonic jet, but it won't be very fast and it'll be quiet, so it won't really push through the Concorde. But look at these graphics. Look at this plane. Look, how can you say no to this? Look at it. Whoosh. And so this project is apparently still going, but I am 100% sure it's some sort of con sort of thing. Like, they haven't announced anything really, and they said they've just been working on it. And it's like, what even is this sort of plane? And apparently, apart from the cockpilot area, where the pilot's the cockpit, is the whole inside will be made of TV screens. So you can sit there and you can actually change the landscape to whatever you want it to be, which is pretty dope. But this project is still a little bit of a black hole, and, we don't know for sure if it's ever going to happen. So where do you think we should put this one? And I'll just clean up this little thumbnail. Where do you think? A lot of S's? You can just vote once. Don't keep spamming it, otherwise the other people. Another rather forgotten F&E video. Thank you so much for writing. Which aircraft would I want to fly on? The biggest one possible, the CL203, which we'll get to a little bit later on. Okay, so B, lots of Fs. Oh, this one is divisive. This is the one where you guys don't know for sure which one to go. So let's see, E, or B. I'm thinking we will put this one in somewhere down here. Oh, I like E because I like the TV screen interior. I think that's smart, but apart from that, I think it's a complete vaporware project and it's never going to be built. Sorry if you work for that company. It's just not something that I think's really possible. Okay, right. I've already answered that question, Lucid the Human, where it's the CL1203 or 1201 is what I would love to fly on. So the next one is the COMAC range of planes. So where are we going to put COMAC? Well, because so many Chinese people love this, it's definitely S tier. But I want to know what you guys think. So if you're not familiar, before we already talked about earlier in the live stream, the various different COMAC planes, and there was a really great example here where it showed the different COMAC aircraft that are going to be available on the market. So I'm talking about all of these aircraft here. So and I'm just going to switch off subtitles. So you've got the COMAC C919, the C929, and the C939. And so basically it's which one of these aircraft we're going to put them all together onto this list. So where do you think they should go? Should that be A, B, C, D, E, or F, or an S? So I'm seeing a lot of C for COMAC. I don't want to anger the Chinese community because I know they're still trying and they're still coming into the marketplace, and it's unfair because Airbus was the same. As I said in the other video, I spoke to Airbus and they were very much of the opinion that COMAC is going to change the landscape in the next 20 years and you don't want to underestimate them. And I totally agree. So I think that when it comes to these Chinese planes, that they should go C, in the middle. They could go either way. They could be an incredible plane or they might not end up achieving their goal. But I definitely think the Chinese are going to build their own planes because their market is so big and they want that. It could definitely compete with all of the Boeing and Airbus aircraft. So let's jump on to the next one. Let's talk hydrogen. So if you guys remember, we did a video on hydrogen planes. And so basically these planes here are ones that are hydrogen powered. Once these ads play, and this is for a horror movie, which I'm not going to watch because I don't like them. And do you remember these planes? And so it's like a blended wing design and they're all hydrogen powered. The problem is with hydrogen is it requires more space. And it's something that I want to point out about these aircraft that you might not notice. All of these aircraft that they're talking about require vast internal areas for the hydrogen fuel cells. They are more environmentally friendly because they're zero emissions. However, they require so much more hydrogen fuel. Basically, I want to point out to you, see the back here where it's this like black color on all the planes? That's the fuel tanks. So these entire aircraft actually, like half of them are taken up completely by hydrogen fuel, and that's why it's so unrealistic. Like, look at all this space. Only the front here up to the wings is for passengers, and it's the same on this and it's the same on this. The rest of the plane is completely just internal fuel tanks and everything like that. And I don't know if that's going to be an attractive thing for airlines, but it's certainly interesting. And whether or not it would ever be built. And plus, hydrogen's highly explosive and hard to manufacture. So where should we put this new plane, hydrogen planes from Airbus? What do you guys think? So Gabriel will be getting to the A350-800 later on. I'm seeing a lot of people saying B, S, C to B. I definitely think a B because it's a good idea, but whether or not, I guess it's hard to say whether or not it'll actually go ahead. It very well could be. There could be a market for the turboprop version that we saw in these videos, like this one down the bottom here. I think that's actually quite cool. And I think I talk about it in more detail later on somewhere in here, how it's actually going to be very useful. Yeah, this one here, the Q400 turboprop, this one would actually be very good for regional air travel. So I think that's actually a very cool one for this. Okay, on to the next one. So let's go back to my page. I've got to remember not to close that. The 7M7, the fat Boeing 7M7. Let's see what you guys think I should put this one. Where is it? So it's up the top here. Where should this one go? This is the Merrill Lynch fat Boeing 7M7. So as I mentioned in another video, this plane was designed to make a 737 into a wide-body aircraft. So it would have a 2-5-2 seat configuration, and it would be able to carry more passengers and allow faster turnarounds at airports, which is something that's very important for airlines who are flying into busy airports like LAX or New York or London. They want to get their planes in and out as fast as possible. So this plane could carry more passengers, it could board faster, and it could probably carry more petrol and fuel, more jet fuel to fly a further distance. However, whether or not it was a smart way to expand the productivity of the Boeing 7M7 remains to be seen. So, where do you think it should go? That's the real question. We have too many 737 conversions. I totally agree. I feel like that it's too much. Like, we keep getting more and more 737 should be totally replaced with a new aircraft. I think that it's out of date and it's time to get rid of it and have a new aircraft for the marketplace. Okay, the next one is this one makes me sad, guys. This one makes me sad. The next one's the Aerion AS2. So this company just went bankrupt, but they were working on quite a realistic supersonic aircraft that was going to be, it's a business jet that was going to be a supersonic one. And I really felt like that this plane was going to be an absolute game changer. I thought it was the most realistic version of a supersonic plane, and it was something that we were easily going to see on the marketplace. And the company went bankrupt kind of out of nowhere, especially with all the publicity that Boom Aerospace was getting. And these people, I believe, were partnered with Airbus, so they had the technology and everything to make it happen. And it's such a shame that it ended up not happening at all. And I just don't really know what sort of to say about it. That's some great 3D. I've got to learn how they made that 3D. So let's decide where to put this fallen champion. What do you guys think? It's a bankrupt plane. Oh yeah, YouTube gives me lots of advertisements for business jets. I don't know why. It's a real interesting thing. It's like, hey, do you want to buy a new Gulfstream? I'm like, I can't, I don't make that much money on YouTube, but definitely. Would you guys be interested in seeing any private jet videos? Maybe let me know in the description or in the comments for this, and maybe I'll get it done. So, yes, it's 9 p.m. here in Australia. Good night. So which countries would I prefer to travel? I would love to see any country. I would love to go everywhere. I really need to travel, especially with the lockdown at the moment. It would be fantastic. I think we're going to chuck this one in A. We'll chuck it up there with A as a 4-1 thing, but it's such a shame that it ended up not happening. Definitely A. Okay, next one. Let's move on. The Boom XB1. So we all know that the Boom XB1 is definitely going to be high on this list. It's the only active in development, technically supersonic transport. It's something that is definitely going to happen. This is the XB1, and we can also group in the Overture with this one if you guys like. So we can also say that the Overture is going to be sort of in this marketplace. So what do you think this should go? I ski. I can't snowboard, but I would love to learn snowboarding. It's definitely something I want to get into. I need to go to a country with lots of good snow, and I want to move there. And I think with this YouTube channel, I can, and it's something I want to jump into. Whereabouts are you? Bin Mani Using Rajput 17. Sorry, I butchered your name. I'm so embarrassed by that. I can't pronounce people's names. Video on the Q400. Yeah, maybe I would do a video on the 400. I think I need to do a video on turboprops. I think that's well deserved because I reckon that there is room for a Tuboliner, which is a giant. But I'm going to go on a little tangent for a second, actually. I want you guys to see. So I want you guys to see the idea for Turbo, which is this real crazy concept aircraft that is kind of ridiculous. Oh, what is this? This is not what I was trying to show you. Oh, I don't know where I am. Oh, okay, let's go back to this. Right, here we go. So this is a giant sort of turboprop plane that is sort of under consideration, maybe something that Embraer could build that would use 8-bladed composited turboprops, and it would be able to carry many more passengers like a 737 or A320. And because you see, a lot of these planes like the Airbus A320 and 737, they don't really fly routes where they necessarily get up to speed. Imagine like a flight from, New York to Boston or to Washington or something like that, where it's a short enough distance that a plane is practical, but a 737 A320 with its giant engines is actually not that efficient. And this is an aircraft that could easily fill in that market gap. And I think it's something that I would definitely love to cover here on the channel. So anyway, back to what we were talking about. We've got to put the Boom XB1 somewhere, and I think it's going to go up there because it's a brand new project. It's something that is definitely going to happen, and it's something that gets me a little bit excited, and I'm excited to see where it could go. So let's talk about the next one in our list. So we got the Lockheed A380. Where do we think the Lockheed A380 should go? So this was a design by Lockheed. It was sort of a study to see what the future plane after the 747 would be. And they accurately predicted, essentially, the Airbus A380. And what's funny is that it's obviously a C5 Galaxy, but designed as an A380. And it's possible that Lockheed could have gone on to build this had the marketplace not shifted them away from civil airliners. So where do you think this one should go? Oh, and they actually did say in the Lockheed Airbus A380, to answer your question there, they actually believed that this aircraft would be necessary for collaboration. So they actually they needed Boeing, Airbus, and Lockheed Martin to build this plane. Or just Lockheed. They weren't Lockheed Martin back. D? I'm getting a lot of Ds. Why do you guys think it should be a D? You don't like it? Oh, goodbye. Thanks for jumping into the stream. A, S, D, A, C, D, D. Okay, we'll chuck it into D. If you guys truly believe D, there's a lot of Ds. Or is it just one guy spamming D over and over and over again? D, folks. Okay, we'll go with D. It's all right. Relax. There's plenty more concepts. You might not agree, but we'll move on. So the next one, I want to talk about the Boeing 747 trijet. Now, this was a very cool sort of concept. I'll see if I get a bigger, and I think DJ's Aviation, yeah, their one's going to appear here, which was a complete, absolute bonkers sort of plane. And it's something that, had it been built, would have filled that market gap that was eventually filled by the Boeing 777. So before the Boeing 777, Boeing needed a way to transport more passengers, but they only had the 747 or the 737, and maybe also the 757 and 767. So they thought that it would be easier to just take the airframe of the 747, take away 2 engines, and just slap in a third one. They also needed 3 engines so it could fly over oceans, because at the time, twin jets weren't allowed to fly over ocean. So they needed a way to put on a third engine so it could fly over the Atlantic. And these rules would eventually be changed. Now today we have twin jets flying over oceans, but the history is still there for an aircraft that is a 747 double deck with only 3 engines instead of 4. So where do you think that this one should go? What's my opinion on the MD-94X? Well, we'll get to that one in a minute. That's further up there. I've done a video on that plane as well. B? Lots of Bs? Okay. Let's chuck it into the B pile. B for Boeing. Easy. Okay. Let's do the Boeing 7J7. So the Boeing 7J7 was, the J stands for Japanese. This was a plane that was designed for the Japanese market, very much like a version of the 727 or the 717, but they wanted a more fuel efficient way, and it had something called a propfan, which I'll just show you here. It was a special aircraft design, and we'll just get rid of this advert about someone dropping an iPhone. So it was this special propfan design that was going to revolutionize air travel, and I ended up talking about this in the video about the 747-500, and it was very loud. It sounded like a chainsaw going off next to your head, and it was something that was definitely not very sort of exciting, but it was something that was exciting enough that they wanted this to be a middle-of-the-market aircraft, very much like the 797 is proposed to be today. But it never went ahead. Where do you think this one should go? Thank you so much. How can I consider a collab with Mustard? I would love to do a collaboration with Mustard, but it depends on them to see if they want to pick up the phone. I also do watch Wendover Productions as well. That's another collaboration that I would love to do. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of C tiers and B tiers. Let's just chuck this one is a C design. Okay, let's just move on to the next one now. So the next one that we're going to talk about on this list, because here I talk about, and you can see the other ranking videos that I've done here, we're actually going to move up to the M12. The MD-12 was the design before the Boeing A380. It was McDonnell Douglas's sort of take on taking on the monopoly that Boeing had for large aircraft. And so you can see this great 3D. You can really see how my 3D has changed since I made this one. I was so proud of these shots, and yet today I could do like such a better job. That's a cool one though. So it was a double-decker design, very much like the Airbus A380, and it was something that was definitely going to change the market had it been built. But I think it was a bit of a pipe dream. They didn't have the money nor the resources to actually develop this, and people didn't really have an appetite for such large aircraft, especially with the problems in, I believe it was the Asian market at the time. It was the crash of the Asian stock market. So they ended up not really getting any orders, and they ended up being sold to Boeing. So where do you think this plane should? It's 4 a.m. in California. You're very, very tired. I'm very surprised that you're still awake. So C, lots of C's, lots of people saying they want that to go. A middle of B and C. Okay, I agree. Let's chuck that in the middle. We'll chuck it right there in between all those planes. How does that sound? Agree? Oh yeah, bring back the old intro. Do you mean the Aviation Station intro, or do you think that the other one? Oh, I listen to a lot of film soundtracks. That's why you can see like the Sims soundtrack and stuff like that. Yes, this would make a great cargo plane. Okay, let's just talk about this triple deck concept. Who likes triple deck planes? This was more of a thought exercise of what a triple deck aircraft would look like, but it ended up being a really fun video to make. And sometimes I just really want to make like fun videos like this. So what do you think this video should be? Triple deck. Yes, I'm seeing people say yes to triple deck, but not a S, A, B, C, D, E, or F. We're going to get to the 747X in a moment. D tier because it has too many windows. Wow, you guys are brutal. F. Okay, we're going to put it I'm going to put it... Oh, okay, I'll put it at D. I'll put it at D. Oh, S. We got someone who wants to put in an S. Oh, we just missed out. Well, let's move on to the next project, and perhaps you can have a go at the next one. The next one I want to talk to you about is East Germany's attempt at the Boeing 737. The Baade, what was it? The Baade 152. The Baade 152. So basically, they had this design for a commuter aircraft way back. Like, we're talking in the 50s. It was like going to be absolutely incredible, and it was going to be something that was going to revolutionize it all. But it ended up never happening. And the plane crashed and then eventually got scrapped, and nobody ever really kept the prototype. And it always kills me when I hear this story of what happened to the prototype, that they scrap everything. Why do they always scrap everything? So where do you think we should put this plane today? Let's see. S? Wow, a lot of S's. A lot of A's and S's, really. So I'm waiting for F's, and then there's somebody with F's. I'm waiting for 100K, because when we get to 100K, that's when I'll get my silver play button and a blue verification tick to prove that I'm the original Found and Explained. So for every single subscription that I get, we'll eventually move up and forward into the place. Thank you so much, the guy from Poland, for resubscribing to my channel. EEEFFFC. Oh, this one is dividing people. Oh, no. Come on, guys. Let's play nice. Where are we going to put it? I need to know. We'll do 3, 2, 1. Are you... Okay, I think we're going to have to put it at between E and F, which is a real shame. That's really far down. Okay, Justin Kim, you keep asking intro music ? And I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. So if you want to clarify that a little bit more, I'd be more than happy to answer your question. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So I think we're going to keep this one focused on commercial planes, because if we go into military projects, then this will be a whole nother video. So I'm thinking that for this live stream, we're just going to do commercial planes, and then I'll come back and do commercial planes later. Military planes later on. Do you guys agree? Justin Kim, you can see my intro music on many of my videos. It's just a musical sting. It's not based on any song in particular. So the MC-21, Russia's 7th. Let's see what you... So we mentioned this before. Someone asks a question. They said, why is this plane keep getting delayed? Why can't Russia build a competitor to the 737? And you'll notice that this plane, if you look closely at the actual... I'll actually bring up a photo of this. If you actually bring this up, you'll note that it doesn't have any winglets on its wings. You'll see that all of its wings just end at straight edges, which is an interesting piece of technology, the fact that they haven't designed that for the aircraft. And it doesn't have swept wings either, so it's not really that sort of aerodynamic. So part of the reason why this aircraft keeps getting delayed is that the Russian government keeps getting sanctioned, and then basically they're not able to get in the materials, the technology to complete the aircraft. And it's a shame, because I think that Russian aircraft can be actually quite good. But what do you think? Where do you think that it should go? So a solid D, a C, an E, an E, an E, lots of C's and D's. E, C, C, E. Hey, Justin, you need to stop spamming that question. I've already asked you. I've already answered that for you. C, C, C. Lots of C's. Okay, look, you're spamming that now, so I'm just going to put you in a timeout. Okay, so the 737, let's put it as the Russian 737, we're going to put it as a C aircraft. So we'll just go for a few more because it's starting to get a little bit late here. What do you guys think about the Airbus A350 Neo? So basically, this video is the one where I'm talking about... Oh, and we'll just get rid of this stupid advert as it plays. Sorry, guys. I get lots of ads on my own channel. Basically... check out those cloud graphics. Wow, okay, I haven't watched this one in a very long time. So basically, it's talking about the future. And this is the Airbus A350 Neo that I talked about. So basically, it'd be a little bit longer. It'd be like the Airbus A350-2000, and it'd have bigger engines like the 777X does, the big GE9X engines that it has. So basically, if Airbus needed to redesign their plane, which they probably will, to bring it to the market to go up against Boeing, this is what the aircraft would look like. And so what would you guys think that this aircraft should be. And this is me also talking about the Airbus A320 Neo as well, and the other versions. This is a great video. I highly recommend you guys check it out. So where should the Airbus A350 Neo go in this? Lots of S's. Lots of A's and S's. Wow. My favorite supersonic jet is the Boom Overture. Blue, S. Lots of S's. Lots of big fans. Okay, it's up there. It's up there. You guys really want it up there? We've put it up there. All right, let's move on to a few more before we finish this live stream. We're going to now talk about, we're going to skip military projects, and we're going to talk about the double-decker Boeing 787 called the Ecoliner. So this was a concept that was pitched a few years ago for a way for Boeing to increase passenger capacity but keep the same fuel consumption on their aircraft. So they created this. It's called the Ecoliner concept. It's pretty much a 787 that would be a double deck. And you can see that they've just taken it and made it an ovoid. So what do you guys think of this concept? Do you think a Boeing 787 should be a double-decker plane? Or do you think that 250 to 300 passengers is enough for that design? Wow, we're definitely seeing a lot more S's for this one as well. Maximum rating. A lot of people saying that this is an incredible plane. Okay. It's pretty cool. I think it's a cool concept. It's a double-decker plane, but it has the efficiency of a 787, which is just a pretty neat concept. Oh, a lot of C's coming in, though, at the last minute, and Connor giving it an F. Why would you give it an F? B, 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 B. Okay, how about we move it down to an A to do a sort of to make it a little bit neater and to acknowledge what these people are saying. Okay, so the next one, we're going to talk about the Airbus A350-800, which was the missing link. So Airbus always planned to make this plane. Oh man, these ads are ridiculous, aren't they? I do apologize, everyone. It's a Netflix ad. I'll watch that later. So they plan to, and you can slowly see the graphics getting better. This was a smaller plane that was designed to compete against the 787 market, the smaller ones, the 787-8. And you can see that it was a smaller variation that would have filled very snugly into that market space. But they never really saw a market for it, and then they decided to create the Airbus A330-800 and -900 Neos. You know, they made that plane better rather than making the Airbus A350-800. But I think that they should have made that that plane down there, because it would have been the plane that... It would have been a better thing. I always believe new technology is better than just upgrading older technology. And that's just my personal opinion. So where do you think this should go? And I'm now going to turn to the chat, and I can see it going absolutely ballistic here. And I'm going to see exactly what you guys think. So a solid S, lots of S's, some C's, an F, S. Airbus needs to be an S only. I'm starting to think that there's a little bit of bias going on here, and that there's a lot of Airbus fans in the channel who are going absolutely ballistic and just trying to see how this goes. It's a missing link, and I think it's something that they should have done. So how about we put that as an A. I think it's an easy thing. Oh, there's a lot of people popping up. Hey, Justin, I've already answered your question, so don't keep asking the same question. It's not a musical track that you can find. It's literally just a tune. Oh, you guys really want it to be an S, though. Okay, I'll give it to you. I'll give you an S to keep the audience happy. You got to play to your audience, am I right? Okay, so I've just moved that up to the S there, just in case you guys didn't know. So now we can do the 747X. Let's talk about the 747. So the 747X was a plane that was sort of proposed by Boeing to be this sort of an improvement on the 747 design. In fact, they said it was like the natural end of the 747. Because if you look, they just ended up extending the whole upper deck of the plane, and this is what their intention was. But it never really took off, because of the economic time. So there was many different versions of the 747X, and you can see that all the various different things of how it would work. And I think it's very telling what we ended up getting was actually a little bit different than what they intended. So Oh yeah, by the way, the designers of Boeing originally said that the double-decker 747 looked short and stubby and looked like a clumsy aeroplane, which I think is a fascinating piece of trivia. So that's why the original wasn't a double-decker. So where do you think this one should go? The 747X, should it go down here? Should I leave it down here as an F, or should it be an S? So I'm seeing a lot of A's, a lot of S's. I'm thinking you guys are saying that you just want a lot of S's. How about we put it as an A? Because I think it's a pretty cool concept. So we'll just see if there's any more. Ah, yes. Now we've got the propeller version of the 747. So a lot of people, if you've ever wondered, the 747 goes the dash 100. It goes the dash 100, it goes the dash 200, the dash 300, the dash 400, and then it just goes the 8. So what happened to the 500, 600, 700? And that's where these planes lie. The Dash 500 was such a fascinating topic that when I was doing my research about it, I was like, I have to make this a full video. And so I did. And it used propfan technology. That's why when you see this video after this Dyson Sphere advert that I'm not going to show you because I don't want you guys to see it, basically it had this propfan technology, much like the 7J7. They brought it back, and it would have made the plane far more efficient, especially for longer distances. And I think it looks so cool. Look at these reverse propellers. It looks super science fiction. And I think that if I was ever to do like animations for a science fiction film or something, I would use this design as like the new and improved aircraft. And it had a really long range. I remember this now. It had a really long range and it could fly London to Sydney on the regular, non-stop. So where do you think this special version of the 747 needs to go? And I'll just have a look at the chat whilst you guys decide. We do need at least one F. Well, you've got the Baade. We'll come back to it. F, B, E, 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 S. You look like you've been awake for the amount of time that the 747 has been delayed. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night because I was getting out the videos and this camera is not very flattering. So I probably do need to get some sleep in a moment. I'm just letting you guys choose these last. D, E, D. Really? I think this one's really cool. All right, I'll put it as a B to compromise. And we'll just do a few more just to get us. What do you guys think about the Beluga passenger aircraft? So this stupid concept was me like having a go at turning the Beluga into a passenger plane, and I think that it's kind of hilarious. And I did all the mathematics to figure it out and actually give them like passenger seats inside and everything. What do you think this one are you guys a fan of the Beluga, or are you not a fan of the Beluga? A B, F, S, A. Could you please do a video on the Douglas XC132? I'll definitely consider it. I definitely think people are really just pushing S all the time. F, F, S, A. It's a stupid concept. Are you guys seriously pushing for like this to be the best one ever? A super S? An A for Airbus? Oh, come on, guys. So let's chuck it down here in D. That's a nice compromise. We're getting a bit lower. And now I've actually got two more things I want to just do before we finish up. So we've actually got the American Concorde. Where do you think the American Concorde should go? If you're not familiar, the American Concorde was a design by Boeing to come up with a rival for the marketplace against the Concorde. And I think it's got some beautiful graphics, this one. I really love the look of this Pan Am Concorde. And it's such a shame it wasn't built because it was far more advanced than Concorde at the time. So I think that this plane is actually superior to the Concorde itself, and it's something that it actually makes me really sad that this wasn't built. So what do you guys think? Where should go this one? D, E, F, F. You guys don't like it's because it's just Boeing? Solid F. Marcel says it's a solid F. A D, an S, an E. Wow. Okay. I think that's incorrect, but we'll put it down there as an E. You guys love the Concorde so much, I guess, that you don't want it to be successful. Okay, we just got one more thing to do. Oh, we'll just do this last row here. So we've also got the flying oil tanker. So basically, just before the energy crisis in the 70s, Boeing came up with a concept of a flying oil tanker that would have allowed them to, I'll just let this ad just click through. It would have allowed them to transport oil up in Alaska. And this thing was huge. It's got 12 engines, and it had the ability to carry oil, ore, gold, plenty of other things in this giant design, and it was powered by hydrogen. So it's absolutely ludicrous, and you can see a cross-section there of what it looked like inside. And it was sort of a very realistic thing for that wilderness location. So what do you guys think? Where should this one go? The flying oil tanker. A C. Clement, S. Go Airbus fanboys. This is a Boeing plane. S. E. S. A lot of S's. All right. Flying oil tanker gets to go up on the S. So looking at it up here, we've got 2 Airbus and 1 Boeing, and then some supersonic jets. F cause pollution. Oh yeah, this would have been terrible for the environment, but that's what it is. Okay, so we're getting into our last ones now. Now we're going to talk about the 728 jet. This plane was being developed in Germany, and it would have been a sort of competitor to the Airbus A380, but it was built like a few years ago, and it was cancelled. It was cancelled before its entry into service. It was pretty much under development. It was pretty much just about to go through, and it was kind of betrayed by its orders. They asked this plane to be designed so it could only carry a few passengers, so it couldn't be made into a high-density plane. And then they cancelled the order. So then they couldn't turn around and sell the airframes to the airline's competitors. It was absolutely awful, and I think it was a beautiful plane that just never really got a chance. The Fairchild Dornier A380. And you guys are saying it's a S, a C, an E, a solid S, Airbus a B. I think, thank you so much for the beautiful comment there. I think a B is a good idea. Okay, let's just start to wrap this up. Let's do the passenger Airbus Antonov 225. Where do you think the passenger version of the Antonov 225 should go? Look at that. So it's pretty much another exercise to see. It actually carries less passengers, I believe, than the Airbus A380. And it's a ridiculous proposal because it's just too big. It's just too big of a plane, and it's not designed for like passenger travel at all. But it's still a fun exercise. A sad A. A B, an A. Oh, this is our second last one. We've only got one more after this. B. I think that might be around about a C or so. I mean, you put the Beluga down here, and this one, an S, an A. An A or an S? Come on, guys. An F? We haven't got an F. That is true. We haven't got an F. Should I put it down here? Mid A to S. Okay, let's put it up here as an A. And then we'll do one more. How about that, guys? Let's talk about the Lockheed L2000. So this was the other alternative to the American Concorde, and I feel like it's something that is really never really mentioned in sort of videos all around on the place. And it's actually a video of mine that you'll see hasn't got many views, and it's a real shame because it's a good video, but it's only got 62,000 views, just to show you how YouTube can be really fickle and that sometimes videos are just not really popular for some people. So this is what it looked like. I think it was a way cooler sort of design than the Boeing one. And yeah, it's this beautiful delta wing that would end up looking like the Concorde, and it would be a real match for that environment. So what do you guys think? A super special S, a B. I'm seeing a lot of Bs. S. I'm seeing some upset people from the last one saying the Antonov. Yeah, the Antonov should be up there. So where should this one go? Exactly. Everybody talks about the 2707, but no one ever talks about the L2000. So I want to talk about this for 1 second. Let's just bring up some background so you guys can see it. Basically, the L2000 was a better design than the Boeing 2707. A lot of people seem to forget that the Boeing 2707 was too advanced and required too much technology and materials that were unrealizable in that era. But the L2000 was a perfectly good competitor to the Concorde, and it was realizable with the technology that they had. So if Lockheed had actually won that race, they would have gone on to build that aircraft, and we would still have American Concorde versions, the L2000, flying today. And I think the Boeing 2707 was a huge mistake. They just wanted to be better, and they believed that Boeing could do it, and they ended up not. And it absolutely kills me, guys. It kills me. So where should we put it? An A, an A? Yeah, I think an A. So we'll just chuck it up there at the end of the A's. Do you guys want to do one more? I think we can do one more. We've got a few more. Let's just start to pick here because we don't want to go through all of them because we'll be here all day. For some reason, the 100K sub live things here in the middle. Oh, it's behind my face. So the Russian Super Blended Wing Tu-404. I've failed to grab the 1 second. Where should the Tu-404 go? So if you guys didn't know this was a super blended wing, never built aircraft design that was created to, I don't even know. I wouldn't even be able to tell you what this was created for, but it was going to use either the jet engines or the same prop fan technology that we saw on the 747-500. And it was so huge. Like, this would require a totally redesign of airports, runways, the way we fly, but it's incredible. Look at all that internal space. I love this plane, and maybe it should have been built. What do you guys think? F, D, F, D, F. Well, I guess we got to have one F, right? So maybe we should chuck that one down there in the very bottom. Middle of D and C. It probably deserves better. Thank you so much for dropping in just for the live stream. Okay, guys. Well, I think that we've done a pretty good job so far. We've made a beautiful pyramid sort of triangle shape. We could do a few more, but halfway through this, I realized that we actually have so many videos on this channel that doing this whole thing would have actually taken a very long time. And I think it's a good place for us to put a pause today. But I'm more than happy to hang out for just a little bit, sort of more, any more comments or what people have to discuss things and see what they think and what people want to talk about. I'm more than happy to also tell you that, actually, I'll tell you what, I'll show you something, guys. If you like, I will show you what I'm working on next. Do you guys want to see what I'm working on next? Let's see if this works, if I do this right. This is what I'm working on next. This is a sneak preview of what I'm doing. So basically, I'm just going to move my face down in this corner. This is, I wonder if I can do that. I wonder if this is going to appear in OBS. Is this going to work for us? Yes, here we go. So who can tell me what this plane is? Anybody want to have a guess? What is this plane? So this is the next video that I'm going to be working on. It's actually a top secret plane that apparently doesn't exist. This, everybody, and I'll show you some more 3D. You're all getting a special secret for hanging out with me for this long. Let me just open up a different project. I haven't actually rendered out everything yet here, so give me 1 second. I'll just put it to screen. I just crashed the program, but that's okay because I finished it. Okay, check this out. You guys are going to lose your minds. So this is the Aurora. Oh, I've lost it. Sorry, guys. I can bring it back. This is the Aurora secret spy plane. So this is something that apparently was built because, as I mentioned in my SR-72 video, there is a market gap between, and I say market gap, there is a military gap between the end of the SR-71, when the Blackbird, when that finished, and what their SR-72, the next spy plane, is. So what was in between? And this is what I'm working on right now. It's a top secret spy plane that could very well be the very big difference between the future and what was in the past and in the future, and this could be flying today. So yes, and you can also see the quality of the graphics has somewhat substantially improved, and I'm very quite proud of that at the moment. So I'm just going to read the comments whilst I set up something else just to show you real quick before we end today's live. That's very cool that I can show you the raw 3D animations, because I was a little bit worried that this wouldn't exactly work, but it's very cool that I can show you this. So let's see. I'm going to see if I can up this one. So let me bring up everything again. I had to close everything just to see it. So I'm going to go through and answer some questions as this next scene plays. So what does everyone say? Wow, that quality. Yes, thank you. Yes, it's a Mach 5 spy plane, the Aurora. You should make a video on the Baade RB1. Oh, maybe I should. So I blew up my RTX 370 today. Yep, good luck. What do I think about the double bubble fuselage? I think it was a very interesting idea, but it's kind of not very elegant. Do you think the Airbus A330-800 Neo will receive more orders? Well, yes, because it fits a very unique market, Gabriel. Basically, the Airbus A330-800 can land on shorter runways than the Boeing 787. So it does fill a market gap for countries such as Greece with all of their islands, Greenland, like Indonesia, and other countries like that, like Hawaii was going to get it because it'd be a very useful plane for sort of these environments. And I think it's something that we will see again in the future. Do you guys want to see a sneak peek of a video that may potentially come out this weekend? I didn't have that. I'll have to just show